Another comment. This is from another viewer. I myself was a victim of rape and molestation from the age of 12 to 18 by a person that was in the family. Is it common for a victim as myself to forget everything prior to the years of when I was abused? I can't seem to remember happy childhood memories other than what was done to me detail by detail. And I have a good follow-up question from our audience member. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Kimberly Ewing, and I'm a certified Oveus bullying prevention trainer, and we go into schools and we actually empower bystanders to help kids when they're being bullied. My question to the panelists is how can you empower us as friends and family members when you come out and share about how you've been victimized, how we can be of help to get you through that tough time?
I think these two questions are related because we're getting a lot of people that are writing in telling us that they were abused when they're children, but they're now adults.
Right. Okay, Jennifer, would you like to take this?
Well, sure. It's very important for families to support their children after they've been abused, when they disclose, and really go to the proper authorities and then get them the help that they need. It's very important for kids to understand that, again, it was not their fault. They didn't do anything wrong. Their parents would have supported them if they had known, if they could have.
Do you all feel that? Do you feel like if now in hindsight, if you had told your family, your parents, that safe person growing up, that they would have done something then?
Oh, definitely. My parents supported us from day one, 100%. I just wish I had the courage to tell them.
I think for me it was different because it was a different era. You know, it was in the 70s, and I think that my parents saw the signs. They knew something was not right with me. I flunked the 3rd grade. I was a straight A student before I was raped. So they saw the signs, but I think they just didn't know how to deal with it in that era. I that's the only reason I can kind of say I think we live in a different time now.
Sure. Where people are talking about it now, whereas then it was, taboo to talk about.
Exactly.
Victor, what about you?
Yeah, they would have been very supportive. When I came out and told them about it, they felt guilty that they weren't there for me from the beginning. You know, they thought they did something wrong too. Everyone's always feeling guilty about all of this, and there's really no need to feel guilty. You just got to start from where you're at and move forward with that. So.
Jean?
Okay, this is a good question from a viewer. This is sensitive. No way want to offend the victims. I may not be asking it properly, but how is it that some victims are repeat victims of multiple offenders? What is it about the victim that draws the predator's attention? In no way am I saying that the victim is at fault, because they are not, but it just seems that predators are drawn to weak or trusting, or simply is it just the vulnerability of the child? So a couple questions there.
I think for myself, I was in many of my relationships, they were abusive. Both of my ex-wives were abusive to me. My ex-partner was abusive to me. And my therapist told me that a lot of that had to do with, that's what I knew, and that's what, as weird as it may sound,
Was your comfort zone?
it was my comfort zone. And so even though I was being abused by these other people, it made me feel safe in a way. I know it sounds strange, but it's the way I kind of, it took 17 years of therapy until I finally am now normal. What I like to say normal is.
Sure.
And I think it also goes back to the grooming process. When I was a kid being abused as a 6-year-old at the overnight, when he realized that I didn't say anything the first time, that he could continue to get away with this. Fast forward, age 11, waking up to, a cousin doing this. And once again, not having a language on how to speak up and tell. I was never educated on it.
Going back to talking openly and having these ongoing conversations with our children in school, at home, at our sports organizations, faith-based organizations, we really can change.
And I would like to just say to that person, I watch, in these stories, sometimes they're fictional and sometimes they're based on real stories, but I watch Law and Order SVU, and one of the episodes, particularly, and this was based on a real story, was about a young lady who had been a victim twice. And that was her question. Why is it me? Why is it me? And it's never you. it's never you. It's always someone else. Don't let them give you that guilt and give you that blame and think that it's something you're doing wrong.
Right.
So thank you all so much for being here on this show. I know this is a tough topic. I think we have drilled home the message to parents, all of us, that you have to have conversations with your children. You have to have an open door policy. There are no secrets. So thank you so much for participating. And thank you for watching Windy City After Dark. G, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m.